So I was born in the environment here in the banana plantation. It was a big place. This is where I was born. And uh, I was the firstborn out of my mother. My father had a previous marriage before he moved here. So, and you had stable, big homes on this village. Not many people, but they used to grow coffee and bananas. But as you have now seen, coffee has been attacked by coffee disease, so we don't have as much coffee as we used to have in the whole of Uganda. Same as the maize, the bananas, we have banana disease. As you see those yellow leaves, that's symbol of that disease which has attacked our bananas. And people who go from here to do fishing, because this is part of Lake Victoria. And if you go beyond those hills, that's the road going to the Entebbe airport. But from here to Kampala, because you go zigzag, you go probably 50 miles. But just to go across here to Kampala should take less than an hour on the boat. The boats we had here were just canoes. You know, canoe, very dangerous. And because of that, many young people have died on that lake through the storms. So when we put up a vocational school, that will help to attract many of the young people. 50 years now since I left this place, there's no church, no school, no clinic. And most of the girl children don't go to school because you have to go through that forest where we passed, and usually some girls get raped. So parents fear to send their girl children to school. So the boys who go. But as soon as they finish P4, P5, they come back here to join the fishing industry or to do lumber, timber, and so on and so forth. So things have deteriorated over the last 50 years. Things are worse today than they were 50 years ago. And an evangelist put up, under those trees, put up a shade with grass. In less than 3 months, it was eaten by termites. So the evangelist left. But that's the man who gave the Bible to my mother. Right. And my mother became attracted because she didn't know how to read. Wanted her son to go to school and come back here to read the Bible to her. So when we walked on foot, maybe 4 hours from here to Nantula, she said to me, son, do not come back to me until we're able to read the Bible. And when I came back after the first term, we sat in the compound. I told my mother to bring the Bible, but I didn't know how to read the Bible. I had only recited, memorizing the first 9 verses of St. John, chapter 1. And when it came to the 9th verse, we stopped. So when we came here for the workshop there, I remember the passage. And I saw my tears in my eyes, because that very important verse, I didn't read it to my mother. That as many as received him, to them he gave the power to become the sons of God. Because my memorization stopped at the 9th verse. So when I reached that one, my mother said, please go on. And I said to her, this is the first reading. Second reading will be next term. So this is the place.
The walk from here to where your mother dropped you off.
Yeah, we left here very, 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 very early in the morning. Walked through that forest, walked through the next village. That's where my mother was born. Through the tea plantation. Then we go to that more or less the highway, going towards Kisoga. Then from Kisoga we continue to Nantula. She had to walk. She left me around 5 or 4:30 to come back here, but she didn't walk this way. She spent the night at Bunyama, the village where she was born. So the following day, she came back here. When I was in Parliament, my father left this place when I was about 15 years old. I had already left this place. So he went and he relocated to Bugerere and lived there until his death. So that's why in Parliament, I was not representing the people here. I went to represent the people for where my father brought me up. So in 2006, when I retired from politics, my desire was to get back to the areas where I was born or brought up. That's why the vision came of starting 10 churches, and each church should have a school and a clinic, because those are the things over the last 50 years which have not appeared here. These children, you see, they have no classroom, nowhere. And the girls, as you see, they don't go to school. The boys have to walk through that forest. That's very far from here. So that's my dream. That's my vision, to have 10 churches, 10 preachers, 10 clinics, 10 schools. And when we finish that, then I'll join Simeon to say, Lord, let that servant depart in peace, because my eyes have seen your salvation. But we need the brothers from America to come spend 2 years, 3 years, so that we create what we are now terming model villages. So that in 2 years, if Christians came to live in Banga in 2 years, what do you envisage that can have taken place here in terms of farming, agriculture, self-sustaining projects, at least a life where kids can go to school, have a clinic. A lady is pregnant. As it happened last time, an American lady was here, Paula. She found a child, a young lady with a baby, very, very sick. In fact, when Paula went from here to the guest house, she could not sleep. Following day, she ran to Mukono, bought $100. I had to get $100 the following day to this village. And it's true, if it was not for that money, that baby would be dead today. I have just sent some people to see if they can bring that woman. She's a young girl. Because as I told you, when we do a workshop, we select 10 people, 5 men, 3 women, 2 young people. And she was among them. Maybe she'll be here before we leave. So this is virgin land, as you can see.
Yeah, it's good land. You can grow a lot
land.
here, yeah.
You can grow. One time we wanted to have a retreat center, because all those forests you see, they border on the lake. So we wanted to see if you could come here and revolutionize the place. Leave the place really changed. Incidentally, no person has really have taken over our Chibanja. This is the area where we stayed. Nobody has put even a better structure than what we had there. But everything is almost gone. You just see forests and the trees and the markers. And
when are you going to plant a church here? When's that plan for the Benga Church?
Banga Church, I think that so far we have established 4 churches. But hopefully, if God is willing, I'll put a church, maybe not on this piece of land where my father lived, but the place where the evangelists put up a structure, a papyrus structure, which in 3 months had gone just across here. But still, this land here has not been purchased. We can still buy this land at very reasonable price.